Hi, I'm Ellie from GoHen.com, the UK's #1 hen party planning organisers. And this week on the Bride Squad pod, I have Steph.
Hey!
Hey. So, today we're going to talk about that much used, much coined phrase, Bridezilla, and the rise of the Bridesmaidzilla as well. So, we have definitely encountered our fair share of drama throughout the years. Like, let's not be an arsehole to everyone.
That's the issue.
And I guess we're here to share it.
Yeah,
so
we
buckle
are.
up. Before we get into that though, we want to hear from you. We want to hear all about your hen party planning problems, your dilemmas, any dramas you have, what's going on in your world, any bridesmaid or bridesmaidzilla kind of disasters, or any bridezillas that you've worked with, because we've all known one. Let's be honest, at least one. So, tell me about your experiences, because Steph is now engaged, so we're going to talk about it. Are you a bridezilla?
Probably close to it. You can tell by the pause.
Objected, objection, loaded question. No.
Currently, no. With potential to be.
Mm.
This is the problem.
You have it in you.
I do have it in me.
Yeah.
And I really just didn't think I was going to be a bridezilla. Like, I always thought, like, how do people get so stressed about this sort of stuff? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm an organised queen. I'll be fine. But that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, it's lurking in you.
Yeah.
You have like an inner bridezilla that will just rage.
Unleash. I'm okay. I hope my bridesmaids and my bride squad would say that I'm not a bridezilla currently. However,
2 years out.
Yeah, exactly. We've got time.
So have you, like, I mean, we've been working in this now for like 10 years between us.
Yeah.
Like combined 10 years. We're obviously not that old yet. I mean, I'm only just a tiny bit older than you, not much.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, hold up.
Oh, it's so unfair. I can feel myself aging.
Yeah. Didn't mean to say yes so quickly for you then.
Yeah,
I'm so
you
sorry.
really did. But I have encountered a fair few bridezillas or bridesmaidzillas in my time here.
Yeah.
Which kind of, I've got quite adept at like wrangling them now. Like I'm okay with it. Have you encountered many, do you think?
Yeah, many.
Yeah, I think your locations as well do kind of lend themselves to a more high maintenance bride for sure.
Yeah, like Bath, for instance. We've got lots of self-catering. It's very beautiful. It's very aesthetic.
God, it's stunning.
It's stunning. It's incredible. But if you've got a self-catered property and you start dropping in numbers and it all
gets a bit much.
It can hit the fan real quick.
Yeah, it really can. And I mean, I think the main thing that I always think with kind of bridezillas is like, I do find them kind of cute sometimes. I'm like, oh, you're just so excited about your day. Look at you. You're just so excited about this massive moment in your life and it's so cute. Like, let's not be an arsehole to everyone.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, you're really excited and you just want to be surrounded by your friends, which
And
is
you want it to
really
be
lovely.
perfect.
So it's the standard of things and the expectations is so heavily weighted.
Yeah.
Because so many brides are like, I was looking at some stats today and even just people being like, I'm really sorry, we can't go along, I'm not even having a hen do anymore because we've fallen out about budgets or drops in numbers.
Yeah.
And then it gets really sad because before that they were really stressful and crazy, and then it gets to the point where they can't even have a hen do
because of breaking point.
The expectations that they originally set. And I'm just like, oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, it is really sad. And I think it's one of those things where it's like you can kind of relate in some ways where you're like, okay, I get it, you want it to be amazing, there's a lot of pressure on it. Mm-hmm. It's a big thing, so I totally get that. But also, let's try and like not focus on too much on the like minutiae and not get ourselves too stressed out, because realistically you will have fun if you're with the right people. So always. Let's just leave it at that. Like maybe kind of having this idea that everything has got to be like absolutely spot on constantly is only going to stress yourself out. I always just think, bless you, darling, you must be so stressed. What you're doing, you're trying to plan a wedding, you're trying to do a hen do, you're probably, you've probably still got a normal job and a house, and you may have kids. Like, that is a lot of stuff to think about. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Calm down.
And I always think, I'm like, do you live up to these expectations in your daily life, or is it suddenly just all switched on when you have a wedding and you have a hen do? And it's just like you wouldn't put yourself through that normal stress and those normal expectations when you're just shopping around the supermarket. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a certain thing, and you don't get as, I guess, well, some people do, but you don't get as triggered walking around a supermarket for meeting expectations as you might For a hen do, I mean.
I agree, unless it's Aldi's middle aisle, and then
Oh, I'm feral.
Feral,
Yeah.
I've seen you in Aldi's middle aisle. You're more feral than me.
Yeah, I am. Don't go there when you're drunk.
But we are... Yeah, true. We are quite different, you and I, in that sense. Like, I'm one of those people that's quite good at, like, being really laid back and, like, yeah, I'll go with the flow. And, like, if something goes wrong, I tend to, like, laugh about it. And I'm just like, I want, like, a muddy festival wedding where if it rains, it's fine. And I'm definitely jumping in a lake in my dress. Like, I don't care. Whereas you're, like, much more kind of polished, I suppose, in what you're going to do. And it's very, like, beautifully traditional, and it's going to be stunning, and it's going to be very like orchestrated perfectly, and you're going to have like a live...
Well, this is the thing about expectations. I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the goal. But again, is that too much pressure? Probably.
I do feel though that would lend you, based on your personality type, more likely into being a Bridezilla than me.
Well, exactly.
I don't know if I have Bridezilla in me.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be there.
It could be there.
Who knows? So how do you think you wrangle a Bridezilla then? I mean, how do you deal with them when you have them?
I think genuinely it's just about managing expectations and like listening to them, hearing their concerns, and just being like, you can like chill out, you can calm down. We're here for you to enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they are the lead organizer of a booking, I'm just like, give over the reins. Like, you're already stressed about the wedding, so you're letting the stress of the wedding impact the stress of the hen. So it's like, it's sometimes just best to advise them to be like, hey, or if you're a bridesmaid or you're a friend and you're seeing them stress out, it might be, and you've got the time, it might just be to say, hey, do you want me to step in and try and work this out? And I just sometimes think to remove yourself from the situation could be super helpful.
Yeah.
Try not to get fully involved. Like, yes, be involved with who you want invited there. If you want to be involved about the destination, fine.
Yeah.
If there's any activities you specifically veto and you really, really would hate, fine.
Yeah.
So give up those bits, but other than that, we advise trying to remove yourself. That's what I normally say. Or just being like, sit down, start from scratch. What's actually most valuable, what's most important to you about this hen do?
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, I mean, that's kind of rationalising with the Bridezilla themselves, but I'm kind of looking for, I guess, tips on the maid of honour if they have a particularly difficult Bridezilla to kind of wrangle. I mean, I would say acknowledging that they're, you know, stressed or upset about something is a good start, because as soon as you kind of acknowledge those feelings, you show empathy, it calms the situation anyway.
Yeah.
Rather than kind of matching that energy with the same kind of energy.
Yeah.
I would say always acknowledge and be like, I totally understand you're upset, but I'd like to work on a solution together.
Yeah.
And like make it a collaborative thing, or it's like, okay, we can't do that, but we can do this, this, and this. And it's always about offering like alternative options. If you give people nothing, they always struggle because they feel like they have to take all of the decision making onto themselves. But if you give them like option A, B, and C, they feel like they have autonomy, but they don't have to make the
massive decision,
kind of solution up. So I would say that's the first tip for kind of dealing with the Bridezilla. The second one is probably just to speak to her and be like, hey, what's going on? Like, why are you so, what's worrying you?
Is there anything else stressing you out?
Because it could be anything. It could be like external pressures, like, oh, well, this person's coming and I don't know them that well, but they're really good friends with my groom's mother and I want to make a really good impression and blah, blah, blah. And it's like all of those things could be a major factor in that person's stress. I mean, a Bridezilla is just a stressed person.
Yeah, basically.
So I guess handle them how you deal with any other stressed person.
Yeah.
Or you know your friend best, so sometimes just a one-on-one is going to help them massively. I'd sit you down and be like, Steph, what's going on? Why are you being like
Something
this?
else is happening here.
Steph, why are you being a cow?
Have a glass of wine and talk to me.
Let's talk about it. Do you want me to put the holiday on?
Yes, always. Give me Juniper or any day.
Okay, so how to spot a Bridesmaidzilla, because they're rare. So I would say over-the-top expectations.
Jealousy.
Yeah, demanding attention constantly.
Yeah, basically trying to steal the spotlight.
Yeah, always.
That's it.
But those are kind of the main things that we'd look out for with a Bridesmaidzilla. You want to wrangle them early. They're a nightmare. But yeah. So we'll take a little break now. We're going to top up our glasses. We're going to cool down a little bit because it's hot in here for...
Warm.
Yeah, it's warm. And we'll be back in a minute.
Yay. Okay.
Oh, cute. We're back.
Hey.
Hey. Right, we're topped up. This is good. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first thing we want to go into is, because we've talked about all of this now, how to choose the right bridesmaids.
Or
how did you choose yours?
okay, there's always a bit of politics that goes into it, but it was a good politics, you know, because it's just because you love people and you just want everyone to be involved.
You love them, so you delegate them.
Exactly.
You love them, so you relegate them sometimes.
Sometimes, that's true. That's very true. I don't think I did that, but that's okay. And I've made a new role.
This I enjoy.
So, I don't need to go with tradition all the time. So I've made blushes because I just feel that men get like best man, groomsmen, ushers, flower boys, right? Women get maid of honours, bridesmaids, flower girl. I just feel like there's a missing step.
Blusher is like perfect.
So I've just done blusher. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Also, I've told the guys this to their face, so I'm not backstabbing them. I trust my girls over the guys.
Yeah,
a whole lot more
yeah.
to be organised. So one of my blushes is actually someone that works here as well. I have known her for a very long time now. And she is the most organised person I know. And that's coming from someone that is quite organised as a human being.
Yeah, she's more organised.
She's more organised than me. She's more type A than I am.
Yeah.
So she knows her job.
She colour codes her calendar.
I do that too.
Oh god.
But anywho, she's got lists. She knows what she's going to be doing on the day. She's going to be getting people to the church. She's got a list. She's going to be that person for the photographer. She's got the list of people that she's like, right, I need you, I need you, I need you.
Oh, she'll be so good at that.
Yeah, she'll be so good at that. I want to get a headset for her. Oh, it's all going to be so exciting.
A headset! Oh, just going to live her Monica dream.
We have talked about walkie-talkies. That's a whole other subject. Anywho, so we've got yes, wonderful Vicky who's doing that for me, and I've got another blusher is my sister-in-law. I was bridesmaid for her, and I just wanted her to be involved in the wedding.
To clarify, that's not Richard's sister. It's not your sister-in-law to be. It's your
that's
brother's wife.
Brother's wife,
right?
Yes. Sorry, good clarification that. And she's wonderful. She's creative. She's also the only one in my bride squad that has had a wedding.
Yeah.
So that piece of knowledge is unbelievably helpful to me.
Yeah.
She can teach me how to use my cricket to do all my fancy decorations and stuff. Very exciting.
Your cricket?
Cricket? Cry cut? Crew cut. Cricket. I think it's cricket with the amount of TikToks that I've watched.
What are you saying?
It's a design machine to help me cut out pretty things I spent a lot of money on, and I hope I haven't wasted my money because I'm going to be really good at it in 2 years' time.
I love that you just said it 3 different ways and expected me to know what it is. You went cricket, cricket, crew cut.
And still don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Okay,
I can do a whole episode on that when I get good.
You can demo it to me.
Where was I? And then I've got another blusher who's in my very close friendship circle, and she's great, and I love her, and I wanted her to be involved. She hasn't got a specific role yet, but they all don't have specific roles. I just have them because they're my closest lot of friends, and I love them, and I want them all to be involved. I then also have some flower guys, but
right.
I just love
them. So you have wait. You have 2 maid of honour,
correct.
3 bridesmaids, 3 blushers. Yes. That's a lot.
And 2 flower guys.
That's quite
impressive. And Richard and I fight over them. Don't know whose side they're on.
Oh, 1 on each.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, do it that, and then they can swap. Yeah, that's quite cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Oh, and flower girl.
Oh.
Richard's niece.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, I always think if me and my partner got married, we'd have the best gay, Tristan.
Yeah.
And then we would have my friend Sarah for sure, because she would make the rain stop. Like she'd be that all over any crisis that she'd be like, the weather doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But I think the most our friends have said is, can I be your bridesmaids? And I said, yeah, probably. And they said, can I wear a tutu?
Amazing.
And
I love that for you.
Yeah. Why not?
Wear what you want.
Yeah, I don't really mind.
You do you. Have wellies, because it'll be in a field, in a festival film.
It is. Everyone's wearing Crocs.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started. I want Crocs for the dance.
Yes, always. Yeah. And you can put like wedding anyway.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. But so, I mean, I would say you've done really well on your kind of bridesmaids there, because you've got someone that's like reliable, supportive, organised, can take the responsibility on their kind of shoulders. You've got somebody who has like a really positive attitude and just generally brings you up and like will look after you. So you also have someone with previous wedding experience. Yes, so you have to really think about like that when you're picking your bridesmaids. Like, how's the communication between you guys? Do they have any previous wedding experience? Are they reliable and consistent in your life? Like, are they the person that you would go to with your issues? Do they look after you? Like,
are they going to be there through it when you're being really stressed and you're crying because something's gone wrong? Are they going to help?
Are yours going to stick by when Janice comes out?
When Janice comes out? I would like to hope so, because I've got a few people in there that will just tell me to calm the F down.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And then others that will be like, everything's great, Steph. You're great. It'll be fun. So I've also got that mix in there as well.
That's perfect.
I would like to think they'd stick by me if Janice comes out, and they can have a bitch behind my back if they need to. I won't hold them against it.
And I think, like, as me as a person, I'm not a person that has particularly transient friends. I mean, there's work colleagues that do come and go. I think in general when you're going,
Hello.
oh, I didn't mean it like that, but you know, like as in, like I've worked a lot of jobs over my time, and I've got a handful of people that I'm still friends with that I worked with.
I agree.
So that you never stay friends with everyone you work with when you leave a job, but I don't have a lot of like transient friends that I would put in important roles. In fact, all of my friends are like lifers.
Yeah,
lifers, like prisoners.
They are.
They've got a life
to your friendship.
They've got a life sentence. They're all on death row.
Yeah,
yeah. Cool. So they are like lifers. So I'm like, well, I mean, they're always going to be in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's part of it, is that, you know, maybe that friend that you've known for a year that you're really close with, that you haven't known that long, is great and will be a lifer. And then maybe that friend that you've known for a while, but you're not, like, you've kind of grown apart a little bit.
Yeah.
They may not be the right fit.
Yeah, don't go for the friend that you were close with 10 years ago. You check in every now and again. You still, I don't know. It really does change.
I don't know. It's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard, because I've also got those friends that I'm like, I see once, maybe twice a year, and you get together and it's like nothing's changed, but we don't have many check-ins because we're all so busy, and it's better just to be like, right, we're meeting up, or if they call me, I know something's up, and I'm of course there for them.
Oh, like, low maintenance friend are a dream.
Aren't they? And it's just like, it's hard because like, where's the like, to me that's a really, really actually valuable relationship.
Yeah, same.
But enough to put in your wedding? It's hard. It's hard. The whole thing is actually quite stressful. Really, so I empathise with everyone having to make the decision.
Well, I mean, hopefully that's helpful. I feel like we've just made that really difficult.
Made
for
it
everyone.
worse. It started off helpful. I think
we made
now
it worse.
It's gone into
we set everything on fire,
overthinking it. Which explains a lot.
Classic.
Yeah.
But what do you do then? I guess if you're to stop your bridesmaids from going like rogue. So, I mean, I think you have to set the expectation on them really early, so they're aware. Like, nothing comes as a surprise. It's like, this is your responsibility.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. This is your role.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to kind of be like, hey, where's this? And you haven't set that expectation that they're responsible for that.
Yeah.
Because that would just stress everyone out.
And also, just in terms of, like, deadlines, I think it's quite easy as a bride to have deadlines in your head. You've probably got spreadsheets. You've probably got a binder. You might have 4 notepads. But you might have all these crazy things and you're like, yeah, I know that this needs to be done by this time, this needs to be done by this time. If you haven't communicated that to anyone, that's going to be really tricky, because you might say to your bridesmaids, like, have you sorted out this? And they're like, sorry, what, no, we haven't looked at that yet, should we start that now? And you're like, well, yeah, it was actually due last week. Like, don't become that.
Yes,
Micromanagement,
project
manager. Don't do that. That's not the plan. You've just got to seriously communicate it with your bridesmaids, because
for sure
they don't know what's going on in your brain.
Exactly. You have to like just keep calm and communicate with them and let them know what you're expecting and what you need and what you want and what are their like non-negotiables. I
would also say on the flip side, as a bridesmaid, maid of honour, whatever you might be in the bride squad, whatever you might be in there, if your bride hasn't communicated any of this to you...
ask them.
Ask them, because it might just be that actually they're super stressed about it and they're just putting it to the back of their mind and not thinking about it until they have to. Mm-hmm. Or it might be that they're overthinking it completely. They just haven't communicated that with you. So on the flip side, a bridesmaids even check in with your bride, because it might just be that they're overwhelmed and you're not sure.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, that we do see lots of stories of like kind of rogue members of the wedding party where they suddenly sort of kind of go off radar or don't reply for things. Like maybe communicating with them and seeing what their overwhelm is and whether or not they're overwhelmed and like what the cause is really important, so that you can keep the peace on the group. Because what you don't want is resentment building towards a member because they've been so stressed out they can't kind of cope with all their responsibilities, and then they're dropping balls left, right and centre, and everyone else is getting resentful for them because they're having to pick up the slack. Like, speak to them, keep the peace, move on.
That's it. Yeah, totally agree.
So, how do you stop yourself from being Janice? How do you stop yourself from being a bridezilla?
You think I'm still learning?
Yeah, I mean, this is important things. Like, so to stop yourself from being a bridezilla, I would say, like, delegate and trust your friends.
Yeah, definitely. And I think on that, I think you've got to be organised, but Be flexible with it. You can't keep to really strict constructs of what you think must happen.
Yeah, and self-care is essential. I mean, it's essential anyway, but it's essential now. Look after yourself.
Yeah. And ultimately, I just think enjoy it. Like, you should be enjoying your wedding. You want to have the most magical wedding in itself. You should be enjoying the process up to the wedding. You should be enjoying the hen do, and you should be enjoying the process up to it. Like, it should all, hopefully, be happening once. So, just enjoy the whole thing.
Enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of it for today's episode. Hopefully you've learned a little tiny bit about the difference between like Bridezilla and Bridesmaidzilla and how to keep kind of calm whilst planning your event and stopping yourself from unleashing your inner Janice. Make sure to tune in next time for more kind of hen party and wedding insights. And don't forget, if you've had a Bridesmaidzilla or a Bridezilla moment, we'd love to hear about it. So get in touch.
Speak to us about your inner Janices.
Tell us about your Janice.
And I'll let you know if my Janice comes up.
Yeah, we'll keep it updated. So yeah, bye for now.
See you soon. Bye.
Cheers, Steph.